Brand new from Sandy. I'll give you the full versions right after the news announcements. And of course, don't forget Calypso Moments from 8 right here on DBS. We're at NCCU at 9:30 and then Muslim Store Home Decor from 10. It's time to bring you the morning news right here on DBS. Time check. It's 7 o'clock.
DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
This morning's headlines: the Calypso season gets underway later today with eliminations. Minister for Tourism, Denise Charles Pemberton, responds to concerns raised by the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association. And news from the regional scene: teachers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines who were fired during COVID-19 get their jobs back. Details of the morning news right after this.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Turn your TV on. Listen to DBS on Digital TV Channel 50 and Flow TV Channel 951.
DBS News.
A minister responsible for tourism, Denise Charles Pemberton, has responded to concerns raised by the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association regarding activities at Daywash and the Northern Marina Development. The Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association said this week it was concerned over the two unfolding environmental issues that pose significant risks to Dominica's natural assets, tourism products, and long-term sustainability. The Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association says mining at Daywash may be causing river contamination and destabilization of surrounding ecosystems. But the Minister of Tourism had this to say.
While we welcome national dialogue on tourism, it is important that information shared with the public is accurate, responsible, and reflective of the full context of government action. As Minister for Tourism, I reaffirm that the protection of Dominica's natural environment remains a central pillar of our development agenda. Our rivers, reefs, forests, and marine ecosystems are not only national treasures, they are integral to our tourism identity and to the Nature Island brand we consistently safeguard. At the same time, a modern and competitive tourism sector requires investment, improved infrastructure, and sustainable development that creates jobs and expands economic opportunity for Dominican families. On Daywash, the government acted swiftly and decisively. The Prime Minister ordered an immediate pause in operations to facilitate a full technical review. The relevant authorities are assessing documentation, environmental considerations, and compliance with established laws. Any deficiencies identified will be addressed in line with best practice and national regulations.
The Minister for Tourism says government is monitoring activities at the Cabritz Marina in the Portsmouth area.
We understand the importance of our dive sites and marine assets, both ecologically and economically. Reports of sedimentation are being reviewed by the competent agencies, and any required mitigation or enforcement actions will be taken to ensure the marine environments remain protected during construction. Dominica's development strategy has always paired progress with careful environmental management. Projects such as the International Airport and the Cabritz Marina reflect our commitment to expanding access, enhancing the tourism product, and driving sustainable growth supported by strong regulatory oversight. Public discussion on tourism development must therefore be balanced and constructive. Selective or incomplete commentary can create unnecessary alarm and weaken confidence at a time when Dominica is strengthening its global visibility and securing meaningful investment in the sector. The government remains committed to transparency, continuous improvement, and active engagement with all stakeholders, tourism operators, environmental experts, and communities alike.
And that's the Minister for Tourism, Denise Charles Pemberton. Other news this morning, Miss Dominica hopeful Adele Laura has withdrawn from the upcoming 2026 Miss Dominica pageant. Monel Alexis is the communication specialist at Discover Dominica Authority.
The Discover Dominica Authority, through the Dominica Festivals Committee, informs the public that Miss Adele Laura has withdrawn from participation in the upcoming Miss Dominica Queen pageant. Her decision arises from personal matters that require her full attention and care. In her statement, she expressed heartfelt appreciation for the opportunity to participate and gratitude for the support she received throughout the pageant journey. We at the Discover Dominica Authority and the Dominica Festivals Committee respect her decision and extend our best wishes to her and her family. We also acknowledge her dedication and the grace she displayed throughout the process. Preparations for the 2026 Miss Dominica Queen pageant remain on schedule, with contestants continuing to train and prepare for an exceptional showcase on February 12, 2026, as part of Dominica's Carnival celebrations.
And that's the communications specialist at Discover Dominica Authority, Monel Alexis. 24-year-old Christian Yannick Blanc of Granby has been sentenced to 2 years in jail after pleading guilty to manslaughter of 31-year-old Jason Sorrendo of Delis, who resided at Granby. Ronaldo Luke Pascal picks up the story.
According to the facts presented in court, the incident occurred on August 15, 2023, after Blanc attended an event in Granby while in possession of an unlicensed firearm. While returning home, Blanc discharged several shots into the air near Sorrendo and a French national. Following the incident, the two men went to Blanc's yard and demanded the gun. A struggle ensued, during which Blanc observed that Sorrendo himself was armed. Blanc fired a single shot, which struck Sorrendo in the head, resulting in his death. Blanc fled the scene with both firearms and remained at large for 1 day. He initially attempted to leave the country, but later surrendered at the Portsmouth police station. Prior to his sentencing, the court granted a request for a maximum sentence indication for manslaughter by reason of an unlawful act. On December 2nd, the court issued its indication of 3 years and 1 month. Blanc was given 1 week to decide, but on the same day, asked to be rearraigned. He again pleaded not guilty to murder, but admitted guilt to the lesser charge of manslaughter. This was accepted by the prosecution. On the day of sentencing, Justice Sigel McDowell established a starting point of 12 years, taking into account the circumstances of the offense, including the use of an illegal firearm, Blanc's concealment of the weapon, and the prevalence of firearm-related offenses in Dominica. Mitigating factors of the offense included the absence of premeditation, the recovery of both weapons, and the fact that Sorrendo entered Blanc's yard armed, making him the aggressor. An aggravating factor, however, was Blanc's own possession of an illegal firearm. The sentence was reduced from 12 years to 10 years. In assessing the mitigating factor related to Blanc personally, the court noted his good character, youthfulness at the time of the offense as he was 21 years old, his strong prospect for rehabilitation, and genuine remorse. At court, Blanc read a written apology to the family of the deceased. These factors reduced the sentence by 4 years, bringing it down to 6 years. A 25% discount for his guilty plea further reduced the sentence by 1 year and 6 months. Full credit for time spent on remand of 2 years, 2 months, and 14 days was granted. Subsequently, the final sentence imposed by the court was 2 years, 3 months, and 16 days imprisonment. Ronaldo Luke Pascal reporting for DBS News.
Thank you very much, Ronaldo Luke Pascal, for your comprehensive report from the court. Sandy, a former first runner-up in the Calypso finals, makes a return to competition in Dominica. Sandy, who resides abroad, appears at the eliminations this evening. The eliminations at the factory on Valley Road signals the start of the Calypso season.
All is set for Calypso eliminations this Saturday at the factory on Valley Road. We expect 45 Calypsonians to grace the stage. Of course, we will see the return of Queen Sandy. We also have the dynamic Matthew LaPlume. We will be seeing the comeback of the Predator and also the Unknown. This year you will see a mixture of comedy, humor, satire, real hard-hitting political commentary, social commentary as well. To add a little flavor to this year's eliminations, we'll be offering a VIP party zone for the very first time. And of course, we expect our usual, the Mighty Thunder. We expect Lady Baku, Sour Walks Up, has a very big song this time around. Of course, a number of all over the country, the persons who didn't make the semi-finals last year, they are also part of the eliminations. So we expect a real big eliminations this year.
And that's the president of the Dominica Calypso Association, Gregory Caressa Riviere. Well, the eliminations will begin at 8 o'clock. It will be broadcast live by DBS Radio on all its frequencies. And let's remind you, this morning at 8 o'clock, Calypso Moments return to DBS Radio 8 o'clock. Kyle John Baptist and his team will be in studios this morning from 8 to bring you the very best of Calypso Moments. The police are reporting that they have seized well over $46 million worth of drugs for 2025. Here is the acting police chief, Lincoln Corbett.
In terms of drugs, but cocaine, primarily cocaine, we've seized in excess of 1,332 kilos of cocaine, 1,732 kilos of cocaine. And for those of you who have been following us closely, we had a big burn about 2 weeks ago. And all of that would have gone up in smoke. All of it and some more would have gone up in smoke at the Monroe's compound.
Meanwhile, the police force is reporting the seizure of 84 firearms this year.
We've seized so far for the year 84 firearms, including firearms that were brought in through the customs illegally. 84. And I'm suspecting the numbers will increase. But 84 firearms have been removed from the streets of Dominica, from the hands of criminals. Removing firearms, getting firearms, that's a big thing. Because it's not easy to get firearms. It's not easy. It's not like buying a bread. It's not easy. So 84 firearms, including high-powered firearms, rifles, submachine guns, and high-powered pistols have been recovered. And for the year, so far, we have removed from the streets of Dominica 1,310 rounds of ammunition. And we've seized in excess of $84,000 EC for the year.
And that's the acting police chief, Lincoln Corbett. The government of Dominica is in the process of procuring 2 additional ambulances for the fire and ambulance department. The announcement was made by the Minister for National Security, Rayburn Blackmore. He says the new ambulances will be on the island in the first part of next year.
The plan of the ministry and the government in the high-intensity areas in terms of population, the Roseau catchment area, and to have one-on-one ambulance. The same in Portsmouth and in Marigot. But with COVID-19, you had a number of issues, and because of the stress that was brought to bear on those vehicles, some of them fell through. So as we speak, we're procuring 2 additional ambulances, modern ambulances, if everything you can think about. And approval has been given to that already. And we are expecting those ambulances to be there in the first part of the new year. And to ensure that Roseau has 2 ambulances at all time, and to ensure that all the health districts have ambulances, as we always seek to do.
And that's the Minister for National Security, Rayburn Blackmore. Let's head into St. Vincent now, because St. Vincent and the Grenadines Education Minister, Philip Jackson, has announced that teachers previously dismissed under the COVID-19 vaccine mandate will be allowed to report to work very soon. In fact, they have reported to their classrooms. Jackson emphasized that affected educators can now go back with full confidence, stating that official communications have been sent to school administrators to facilitate their reinstatement. The policy shift marks a notable departure from the previous Unity Labour Party administration's approach, which had mandated COVID-19 vaccination for educators through an amendment to the Public Health Act. During that period, dozens of teachers were dismissed for refusing to comply with the vaccination requirement, a policy that sparked significant controversy and was widely criticized as overly restrictive. Most of the fired employees were already back to work at the time of the announcement. It is 17 minutes after 7 o'clock. That's news. Don't go away. The sports report comes up shortly.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
This Christmas, bring home the joy with NBD. Apply for an NBD credit card or personal loan, and you could be one of our lucky winners in a special Christmas shopping spree. Celebrate the season with friends and family. Shop for your holiday favorites and make this Christmas truly magical. Make your season brighter. Visit any NBD branch today. For more information, go to nbddominica.com or call 767-255-2300. Hurry! This festive offer ends January 9th, 2026. Don't miss your chance to bring home the joy. Terms and conditions apply.
Let's begin the DBS Morning Sports Report with football news. The Do-It Center Mighty Avengers kept their hopes of completing the double alive as they have advanced to the semi-final of the DFA Division 1 President's Cup. The reigning Division 1 champions got past Warner FC in quarterfinal action last night at the DFA Technical Center. Jaron George and Jaron Mayers got a goal each as the Mighty Avengers won by 2-0. Mighty Avengers head coach Kareem Reggie says it was good to get the win despite the long layoff.
Just a good little showing from the guys. I mean, we made a lot of changes to the starting lineup, gave a lot of guys opportunities to play in this game as we get ready for the Premier season. You know, a lot of rush showing, a lot of the guys who haven't actually played competitive football in about 4 to 5 weeks, and then we haven't been able to train properly due to the Christmas village being on our usual training ground, which is the Lindo Park. But we're doing the best we can with what we have, and just a good professional showing from the boys. A 2-0 victory, kudos to Warner. I mean, they came out fighting as a team that brought us to 120 minutes in the knockouts last year, so they have some potential there, and we're just looking to get to that semi-finals and get to that finals and try to put another trophy under our belt for the season and continue this great run of form that we've been having.
All right, you quickly mentioned about the roping in a few of the new guys. I'm not sure if you've roped them into any previous games, but what have you been able to make out from them or about them so far as you've been still observing them?
Not necessarily new guys, just guys who have been with us, but maybe haven't gotten the opportunities to play last season. Maybe some fringe guys, some reserve players, some bench players. So just giving them the opportunity. We had some young guys as well. We had Davidson Copel starting first. He's a young guy, 16 years of age. Guys like Anton Warrington and others who have been training with us and have been training really hard and deserve their opportunities. I mean, we got to give everybody their chances in the sunlight or in the nightlight, as I should say, and give them their chance to show that they're ready for the Premier season. So we know we're just trying to give everybody some touches of the ball, as well as resting some starters from that long, grueling season that we just had.
And that's the mighty Avengers head coach Kareem Regis speaking with Joseph Fadul. Well, the quarterfinals will continue tonight with Tarish United taking on Bathurst FC. That game is at 7 o'clock at the DFA Technical Center. Let's move on to some more sports. The multi-million-dollar lighting upgrade at Windsor Park Sports Stadium is moving steadily ahead, with all underground works now completed and major shipments of equipment scheduled to arrive in Dominica in January 2026. That announcement has come from the Minister of State in the Ministry of Sports, Senator Oscar George. He emphasized that the scale and complexity of the project have contributed to delays, with work set to resume in the new year.
Obviously, a $13 million project will take some time to complete. It will present some inconveniences, especially in a facility where a facility that is used for different purposes. So we understand that the lights that was there initially, they did not serve cricket. And now we are proposing a much more advanced, high quality lighting fixture with all sorts of innovations. And that's why it's so expensive. And of course, to say further, these lightings are not something you can pick out from the store. It's something that you have to take your specifications from the Windsor Park. And just the manufacturing of these poles take up to 2 months. And obviously, they are shipped all the way from India to Dominica. And that is the cause of much of the delay. And I really want to ask the public for their patience in the process, because it's a long journey, and it's a journey that have a lot of moving factors. But nevertheless, the contractor has given the assurances that they'll be here in January, and we're looking forward to the resumption of this lighting project. It's a very important project, not just for sports, but for the country on a whole, because the venue can be used for different activities, not just for sports.
And that's the Minister of State with responsibility for sports, Senator Oscar George. We'll hear from him in another sportscast on other activities taking place around the island. The West Indies captain Ruston Chase wants his batters to take ownership and hold themselves accountable for the poor performances with the bat. His comments following the West Indies' defeat to New Zealand in the second test inside 3 days. Chase says the batters need to capitalize on their starts.
Yeah, well, on this tour, I just think it is converting those starts. You have to work very hard to get that start. So I just think that is converting the start once you get in, just buckling down and having that determination to carry it as far as possible, and not just good balls will bowl, yes, but I think sometimes we just give it away a little too easy when we get to the 30s and the 40s. But especially in New Zealand, we know first innings is very crucial, and it's usually the other way around where second innings is more crucial. But I think if you can get a good first innings total, where the ball is moving around a lot more and a lot of green on the wicket, I think that would put you in a commanding position to have a chance at winning the game. So I just think that it's for the batting to convert those starts and to stay in the present as long as possible. Yeah, I think the guys, when we do sit and chat after games, we sit and we discuss those things. So we try to hold everyone accountable for their actions. So yeah, it's just about finding ways, not only just talking, but finding ways out there in the middle to combat what is being thrown at us. So yeah, I just think that's some of the discussions that we need to have.
And that's the West Indies captain, Ruston Chase. Head coach of the national under-20 men's football team, Delroy Watt, says his squad has to put in the work to be able to handle off the pressure of playing 4 games in 7 days in the 2026 CONCACAF under-20 qualifiers. The qualifiers will get underway in Costa Rica in February 2026. Dominica has been placed with the Dominican Republic Antigua and Barbuda, St. Lucia, and the British Virgin Islands in Group C of the tournament. Watt says, while the group may be favorable for Dominica on paper, the scheduling of the matches will be a challenge, and the team has to work hard in training.
All right, it's easy to say that it's comfortable, but we don't underestimate any opponent, Gavin. We have a lot of experience in playing regional and international tournaments, Gavin, and it's never wise to underestimate anybody. We're preparing as if we're preparing for Mexico, Gavin, because really and truly that is what that's going to take us or make us be successful. So, but one major concern I have in the preparation is during that competition period, Gavin, we are tasked to play. We're playing 4 games in 7 days. I can tell you, Gavin, that is an area that we, the coaching staff, are mitigating against, and devising ways to basically overcome that challenge. Because really and truly, Gavin, how many players here, amateur youth players, play 4 competitive matches in 1 week, Gavin? Not many, or none at all. You understand? So really and truly, what happens when the body is not used to that sort of load, you will find players breaking down and not performing at their optimal by the second, even third game. So that is what that is the approach we are taking. We want to get the players physically, mentally, technically, and tactically ready for that challenge, playing 4 matches in 1 week in Costa Rica, Gavin, come next year.
And that's the head coach of the national under-20 men's football team, Delroy Watt. Meanwhile, the under-17 women team, they will leave state tomorrow to take part in the Windward Islands tournament. We will bring you more, I'm very sure, on that development. The women's under-17 team leaving state tomorrow for the FIFA tournament. And FIFA's ethics committee has been asked to investigate FIFA's president, Gianni Infantino, over allegations that he broke FIFA's rules on political neutrality in relation to U.S. President Donald Trump. Infantino awarded Trump with the inaugural FIFA Peace Prize at the 2026 World Cup draw in Washington, D.C. last week, and has also done social media posts in support of the U.S. president. More in this report.
Human rights campaign group Fair Square has written a letter of complaint alleging Infantino has committed 4 clear breaches of FIFA's neutrality rules. The letter stated that the award of a prize of this nature to a sitting political leader is in and of itself a clear breach of FIFA's duty of neutrality. It says the FIFA president does not have the authority to unilaterally dictate the organization's mission, strategic direction, policies, and values. Infantino and Trump stood side by side during the glittering ceremony at the Kennedy Center for next year's tournament, which takes place in the USA, Canada, and Mexico from June 11 to July 19. As well as a large golden trophy, Trump received a medal and certificate from Infantino. In October, the 55-year-old posted on Instagram saying Trump definitely deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. Fair Square also alleged a video post by Infantino on Instagram in January following his invite to Trump's inauguration indicates support for President Trump's political agenda. Nicholas McGeehan, Fair Square's program director, said this complaint is about a lot more than Infantino's support for President Donald Trump's political agenda. Reporting for Nationwide Sports, I'm Orane Buchanan.
And that report, as you heard, the FIFA Ethics Committee asked to investigate the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, over allegations that he broke FIFA's rules on political neutrality in relation to U.S. President Donald Trump. Infantino awarded Trump with the inaugural FIFA Peace Prize at the 2026 World Cup draw in Washington, D.C. last week, and has also done social media posts in support of the U.S. president. It is 7:30 in Dominica and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. That's news and sports. Of course, at 1 o'clock and 1:15, today we'll bring you another major news and sportscast. And of course, this morning, as we said, at 8 o'clock, the program Calypso Moments will begin for the year. Carlisle John Baptiste and his team will be in studio as we bring you the Calypso Moments. And Joseph Fadul, there's so much happening on DBS throughout the day. In fact, you don't want to leave DBS at all throughout the day today. your number one radio station. Well, that's news. On behalf of the News and Sports Department and our link person, Joseph Fadul, Curtis Matthew saying good morning. Coming up very soon on the radio, the insert of the package.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
This Christmas, bring home the joy with NBD. Apply for an NBD credit card on personal loan, and you could be one of our lucky winners in a special Christmas shopping spree. Celebrate the season with friends and family. Shop for your holiday favorites and make this Christmas truly magical. Make your season brighter. Visit any NBD branch today. For more information, go to nbddominica.com or call 767-255-2300. Hurry! This festive offer ends January 9th, 2026. Don't miss your chance to bring home the joy. Terms and conditions apply.
Let's now bring you the insert of the package right here on your nation station, DBS Radio. And of course, the insert of the package brought to you with the kind compliments of our wonderful friends at A&A Low Price Center.
A&A Low Price Center in the village of Calabishi offers the best prices for the freshest products ever. One-stop convenient shopping at A&A Low Price Center in Calabishi. For your foods, your everyday needs, snacks, liquor, dry goods, and more. Just about everything located in the flat of Calabishi, directly in the center of the village. Come to A&A Low Price Center on the highway in Calabishi. A&A Low Price Center is family owned and operated. It is fully computerized, VAT compliant, low tow, credit card and top-up capabilities. Stop at A&A Low Price Center in Calabishi today or call 445-7655. Drop us an email at aanalowprice@gmail.com. A&A Low Price Center in Calabishi open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit us today. Just walk in and be happy you did.
And this morning's insert of the package will come from the morning news, where Sandy, a former first runner-up in the Calypso finals, makes a return to competition in Dominica. She appears at the eliminations this evening. The eliminations at the factory on Valley Road signals the start of the Calypso season.
All is set for Calypso eliminations this Saturday at the factory on Valley Road. We expect 45 Calypsonians to grace the stage. Of course, we will be seeing the return of Queen Sandy. We also have the dynamic Matthew LaPlume. We will be seeing the comeback of the Predator and also the Unknown. This year you will see a mixture of comedy, humor, satire, real hard-hitting political commentary, social commentary as well. To add a little flavor to this year's eliminations, we'll be offering a VIP party zone for the very first time. And of course, we expect our usual, the Mighty Thunder. We expect Lady Baku, Sour, Walks Up has a very big song this time around. Of course, a number of all over the country, the persons who didn't make the semi-finals last year, they are also part of the eliminations. So we expect a real big eliminations this year.
And that was President of the Dominica Calypso Association, Gregory Caressa Riviere. That was your insert of the package right here on your nation station, DBS Radio. Let's bring you this morning's edition of the Weather Report. This morning's edition of the Weather Report is brought to you compliments of the wonderful folks at Big Edge and Flow.
Make weather information a part of your daily life. Listen to the Weather Report after the morning news and at 1:10 p.m. daily on DBS Radio. A message from the Dominica Meteorological Service, your trusted source for weather information.
over your circumstances. Many times they'll be tried.